Samita here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a video standing up for the first time and God knows how long. Also today we're going to be talking about the upcoming transition of Shani and Rahu coming together in the sign of Pisces. Now, interesting fact, this is happening for the second time in the past 150 years. The last time it happened, it was 1968. So let's get into this interesting rare combination. First thing you need to know, Shani and Rahu are not enemies. They are allies. Shani works against Maya, or the illusion of the matrix, basically things that we get sucked into in the material world. Shani works against those things, breaks those illusions for us, and brings us back to our inner truth and our inner, reservoir of purpose and a sense of self. And Shani really breaks the illusion for us that, the world is all about everything we obsess about usually, and everything we obsess about comes from Rahu. Rahu is the north node of the moon that basically fills and floods us with human desires, whether that's around material things that include objects of pleasure, objects of illusion, material wealth, success, fame, admiration, validation, respect, money, material pleasures, etc. Rahu is all about that. Rahu is responsible for increasing your desires in all of these areas. You want more. You want to buy that house. You want to, get that job. You want to, get fame, get success, get recognition. All of these are material desires that Rahu will enhance. Rahu is very happy to do all this. He'll be like, oh, let me give you, insatiable desires. Usually Rahu driven desires, like I've mentioned in Rahu videos, they are not really satiated. Once you get that house or once you get that recognition, there's a hunger for more, or there's this feverishness to keep that level of fame or success or whatever it is. Yeah, keep your money once you earn it. So what does Shani do? Shani, Saturn, he'll come around and he'll, remind you of your purpose beyond the things that you obsess about for yourself, remind you of your duty towards society and people. He'll remind you of hard work without immediate fruits or immediate results. Shani reminds you of failures. He'll remind you of basically dissatisfaction around material things, dreams around material desires not coming true. Then where do you have to turn? What do you have to do to feel good about your life or your sense of self? You have to look inward. So Shani basically enables, deepens spirituality, and enables the soul to recognize that, okay, I'm a living being connected to other living beings. What can I do for this planet? What can I do for people? So Shani or Saturn is a disciplinarian, puts you through your karmic lessons, tells you what really is important beyond what we obsess about as human beings, the soul's evolution, growth. So puts you through karmic turmoil and like karmic clearance so that you can rise above all of that and then recognize your true purpose on earth, recognize your value as a soul and not just a human being, value of life beyond all the material things and pleasures we obsess about, and to go deeper into the path of spirituality. Now, this is Shani's role. Rahu is all about like, yeah, let's get this, let's get that. Despite them being so different and the effects of them being so different, Shani and Rahu are friends. Why? Because Shani doesn't need to do much if Rahu was not there. If we were not like pulled into material living and material desires, Shani would not need to break that illusion for us and, remind us of reality beyond it. So they kind of go hand in hand when it comes to, doing what they have to do with the whole puppeteering human lives. Yeah, is that the word? Puppeteering? I hope it is. Coming to this conjunction. Now, what does it entail? Shani and Rahu create a yoga called Pishacha Yoga. Rahu casts a lot of illusions and increases desires. Shani brings disappointment, unfulfillment of desires. Why? Because you need to find your sense of self and true meaning, true purpose beyond these desires we obsess over. On the spiritual path, eventually all desires that are meant to come true will come true. That's a different story. We'll talk about desires and manifestation in a different video. But what will happen? Rahu Shani coming together, one, expect disappointments, expect desires feeling unfulfilled, expect insatiability. Yeah. So what is Rahu doing? It's increasing what you want. What is Shani doing? It's disappointing you, causing delays, causing obstructions. So a lot of dissatisfaction, mental health disturbances, feeling unfulfilled, feelings of unfulfillment. These things can manifest on a lower level, as in like a not that intense level. On a bigger note, for all over the world, this conjunction, a lot of natural calamities and disasters and, like accidents and significant, brutal, gruesome deaths happened the last time this conjunction happened in Pisces, which was around the year, which was in the year 1968. So for world over, this time is a very difficult time. Yeah, Rahu Shani also is known to create a lot of relationship disturbances. Why? Because Rahu craves pleasure, relationships, all of that. So Rahu Shani coming together, they can also disrupt relationships a lot. Some people even say that this is a time where long-term marriages or long-term relationships break, or you know something goes wrong. So be very careful. And this is all to do with the mind level, right? Like it's all about how these energies and influences play on the human mind. Depending on an individual chart, this can prove to be really good. Like, for example, if this is happening in the career chart, career house in a chart, it can push someone to have a lot of work and feel really burnt out, maybe, but also have a lot of work and be very busy. So, this definitely manifests in different ways in different people's charts, but overall, this is considered as a Pishacha yoga, and that's not really good because Pishacha means lower energy realms and beings. So you might get pulled into like opposing forces a lot. Like you might get pulled into lower energy thoughts and realms. People could see obsession with destruction or the news consuming your headspaces. News about like violence, gruesome death, even horror movies. These things, Rahu might, in the sign of Pisces, bring up a lot of lower realm, lower energy stuff. Yeah. So generally, the energy of the world you'll see kind of like a dip. Yeah, we've been kind of okay from Jan onwards. Jan, end of December, January, we've had like a more peaceful transition into 2025. It's been quite a pleasant couple of months, but now Shani and Rahu coming together, and Shani moving from Kumbh Rashi to Meena Rashi, it's going to be a transition. Yeah, a lot of people in Aries, they're starting their Sarasati. People in Pisces, they're starting the second phase of Sarasati. Kumbh Rashi natives are starting their third phase of Sarasati. And Makara Rashi people, Capricorn moons, finally are going to be done with their Sarasati. So again, it's very subjective. Yeah, I would say that in order to keep the energies high during this stressful time, because Saturn Rahu is going to create like difficulties, because even though these two planets are not enemies of each other, it's a hectic combination. These two planets coming together, or these two planet and node coming together, um, does create a lot of energetic friction, because it's like two malefics coming together. It's bound to create some sort of malefic energy salad, if that makes sense, right? So advice during this time lasts from March 29th, which is when Rahu and Shani will come into the same house. Yeah. And March 29th, Sarasati starts for Aries natives, and Ashwini, Bharini, and Kritika Nakshatra, Mesh Rashi. So starting March 29th up until May 19th. April mid, this conjunction will peak where both Saturn and Rahu come together in the same degree, and then they will slowly part, and Rahu will finally move to Kumbh Rashi after being in Pisces or Meena Rashi for 18 months. He'll move to Aquarius. Yeah, so March 29th to May 19th. Please keep spiritual energy high, meditate, focus on prana, observe desires being unfulfilled, mental unrest, just, they say chida, like the anxiety, disputes, just doubt everywhere, um, feeling your insecurities coming to the surface or being reconfirmed by people. These things that take us away from our center, take us away from our self-love, confidence, and our connection to ourselves. People reacting off of our energy a lot, internal unrest. These will be themes from March 29th to May 19th. World over, it's a hectic time. That's a very difficult year itself, astrologically. Um, like we just witnessed the genocide restarting again. And Shani, what he does is he will make his presence known or something. If there's a Shani period happening or a Shani conjunction with another planet happening, Shani kinda is like, okay, I'm gonna prep you. That's what he does before Sadisati as well. Usually he puts drishti on the house of your moon before he enters into your Sadisati zone, right? So You will start to feel the effects of this energy a few days before 29th March, but it is a very hectic, difficult combination. So keep your spiritual energy high. If you are not doing spiritual practices, start meditation, chanting, pranayams, yoga, right? Mindfulness practices, because this is a time to rise above the convoluted disputes of the mind and the shadow self resurfacing. Yeah, this is a time to rise above the mind a little bit, because the mind is going to play tricks. The mind is going to get caught up in stupid things that do not matter. The mind is going to get sucked into baseless desires. Be aware. Again, I feel like if you go look for certain difficult combinations in astrology, you will find it year round every year. Yeah, there's always going to be good and bad. But why do we talk about difficult conjunctions? Is so that we can prepare ourselves and we can know what to do. Yeah, we can know what energies are there, and we can know what we can do to counter those energies or safeguard ourselves and our loved ones. What we need to do in order to tackle that energy that's coming our way. Yeah, so depending on your sign, it might not be such a hectic time, but generally Shani and Rahu, difficult time. So just keep in mind that if you're going through it, you're supposed to, it's meant to happen. It's all karmic clearance. A lot of karma gets cleared during Saturn Rahu. Yeah, because like Rahu just enhances Saturn's work. Like Saturn's job becomes more apparent. Yeah, Saturn gets more into like, okay, we need to solve this now. Imagine the things that Rahu brings into your life that don't give you permanent joy or permanent growth, happiness, but they give you the illusion of happiness, intoxicants, all of that is Rahu. And imagine that being amplified. So obviously, what brings those things down also is amplified. So both these planets coming together amplifies basically a lot of malefic energy, a lot of things that we need to overcome as human beings, as an individual soul and a collective consciousness also. Yeah, so difficult time, but keep your prana high, do your spiritual practices, be in sangha, be around people who uplift you. Yeah, be in knowledge, be around people who are focusing on high energy things. Yeah, focusing on betterment of others, betterment of the planet. Do not get sucked into disputes, do not get sucked into comparison, discrimination, very low energy things. Yeah, just try to think about goodness of humanity and think about gratitude. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the post notification so we can stay connected. And I will see you next time. Namaste. Bye.